So the first topic I'm going to talk about is that the first trailer for the live adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon came out. I thought this was a fantastic first trailer. Like I loved the three How to Train Your Dragon animated movies. I think that's one of the best stories of all time. And I think this trailer does a great job of really capturing the spirit of that animated movie. The casting to me looks spot on. Like I don't recognize the main actor too well who's playing Hiccup. Like I think he was in a recent he was in a movie that I watched called Monster Summer, but he's not like an actor I'm really familiar with when it comes to his work. But I think he was the main kid in that movie that I watched, Monster Summer with Mel Gibson, which was a decent little horror movie, nothing spectacular. But I'm not too familiar with him as an actor when it comes to his work. But it looks like he, at least from the trailer, he really captures the personality of Hiccup from the animated movie. But I think the most important thing that this live adaptation had to get right was Toothless when it comes to the look of Toothless. And I feel like the CGI looks fantastic, and they pulled that dragon Toothless straight out of the How to Train Your Dragon animated movie. And that moment in the trailer where you see Hiccup like telling Toothless not to be afraid of him, putting his hand up, like that's an iconic moment in my opinion, animated movie, and it looks like they really do a great job of capturing those scenes from from the animated movie. So to me, I thought this was just a great first trailer. Looks like it captures it. Looks like the casting is spot on, and I know Gerard Butler who plays the Viking father of the main character, the Hiccup. I know he actually is playing his character in live action, which I think that's awesome that they're been one of the people back from the animated movie to play the live action version of the character. So I think this is a fantastic first trailer. The only concern I have, and this is a small concern, is that I hope this doesn't become like the Lion King 2019 movie where it's a shot where so much of a shot remake that it's like to the point where it doesn't really have like a heart or soul to it, where it's just like a movie where just kind of like remake where just copy and pieces because that's the tricky thing with remakes, in my opinion. Is like when you do a remake of an animated movie, and I think the best examples to me that did it really well, in my opinion, was the Aladdin remake, Jungle Book, and Cinderella. The Ken and Bradley Cinderella live action movie. I think those did a great job of keeping what you love about those animated movies while adding new stuff in there to make them feel different at the same time. And that's always a tricky balance. Like you have to, like to me, I do think you you should take stuff from the animated movie How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, and definitely take iconic scenes. But at the same time, you have to like try. I also think at the same time you have to kind of like add new stuff in there to make it feel different also. And like I said, it's just a very tricky balance. Like I think Jungle Book and Aladdin and Cinderella are the best examples of remakes of animated movies where they take the stuff that you love, like I said, from those, but they also add in little things here and there to make them feel a little bit different too at the same time. So that's the only concern I have with How to Train Your Dragon live action movie is the one fear of it being like a shot for shot remake like the Lion King 2019 film with no heart. That's the only concern I have, but otherwise I think this is a fantastic first trailer. I'm definitely hyped for this movie. The next topic is so Minecraft they put out a new trailer for Minecraft. And look, I never played the Minecraft games, so going into the first trailer, I had no excitement for this movie. And coming out of the first trailer, I think this movie looks terrible. I'll say this about the second trailer. It was better. But I still don't think this movie looks very good. Like, I'm not really a fan of the look of the movie all that much, where you have these live action people into the Minecraft world. It just something about it doesn't it doesn't look like it blends out well together. It doesn't look funny to me personally. You know, and Jason Momoa, I don't know what the hell he's doing in this movie, but it's just he doesn't really look all that funny. I still don't think Jack Black is all that funny in this trailer. I mean, the one of the things I'll give this trailer is that it does give you more to the story with Jack Black's character, where you see that he was in the mining and he like stumbles onto this world Minecraft. So you do get more of the plot in this trailer, but I just don't think this movie looks very good. Like it's a better trailer, but I can't say I'm still excited for Minecraft. Like this trailer did nothing for me personally. Like this is a movie I would skip honestly. It just this second trailer better, but I'm still not excited for this Minecraft movie personally. Like if you are, that's awesome. I just these trailers have really done nothing for me personally, and I just still don't think it looks very good. The next topic is Wicked open to 114. With I'm not surprised by that. Like I went to see this movie. I went to see Wicked this past Saturday, and it was packed. Like this is definitely a movie that feels like an event movie in my opinion, where it's like a lot of people going out to see it opening day, weekend, and it opened to 114. I am not surprised. Like I think this is the biggest musical, like biggest opening for a musical movie too. I believe. Correct me in the comment. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, fans. But this movie obviously was gonna be big. I mean, the Broadway play I've never seen. It happened years ago. I know that like people say that's one of the most famous Broadway plays. So a lot of people were going to see this movie. And this movie cost 145. So this movie is easily, in my opinion, going to make back this budget and more. And I think this movie with the word of mouth scan is getting extremely positive reviews. And I am going to put a review for that movie. And I'll just say this: I love the movie, and I can't wait for part two next year. Which I think part two, after seeing this movie and after the word of mouth scan, I think part two is going to even do big. Is even going to be bigger than part one. But I think this also just bodes well for its legs because I think with the word of mouth for this movie is going to have strong legs at the box office. Like I could see this movie taking like a healthy drop off in the second week, especially with the holiday week two coming up. I think people are going to go see this movie multiple times, and it feels like one of the movies that people will go repeatedly to see again and again. So I'm happy that Wicked is having all this success, and it's a movie I highly recommend. Go check it out at theaters. The next topic, and this is the second part of box office, is that you had Gladiator 2 that came out this week also. Was I am going to put my review for that, and I'll just say this. I wasn't a fan of Gladiator 2. I think it was terrible personally as someone who loves the first one, but I'll be putting my review for that when I go into depth why that movie didn't really work for me personally. But the movie opened to 55. Was is I was thinking it was going to open in the Sissy area. I know that was what the projections were. And when it comes to this opening of 55, I would say it's an okay opening, but I wouldn't call it a great opening because Gaio 2 costs like the budget for the movie is like 250 to 310, which is ridiculous for a Gladiator sequel. Like I know the movie's made like 221, 22, so it's already made passing the 200 area because the international numbers also. But like I just feel like with the strong word of mouth with Wicked, and you have Moana 2 coming out next weekend, I think Gladiator 2 is going to get lost in the shuffle between those two movies. Like, I just don't see this. Like, the movie's not getting bad reviews. Like, Gladiator 2 has like a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes with critics. The critics are liking it, they're not loving it. And the audience scores like 80 something. So the audience seem to be really loving it more than the critics. But as someone who saw the movie, I just don't see this movie having that legs at the box office with Wicked still coming out on a holiday weekend next week and Moana 2 coming out next weekend with Wicked still out. I think Gladiator 2 is just kind of going to get lost in the shuffle. I could be wrong. Like, the movie could, maybe it will have strong leg at the box office, but 55, I don't know if I would call that a great opening for a movie that costs 250 to 310 budget wise. Like to me, the Gladiator sequel, you did not need to spend that type of money on this movie. Like it's ridiculous how much the budget for this movie is. So I would say it opened okay in my opinion. Gladiator 2. I wouldn't call it a great opening for the budget of this movie. I think it's gonna have a hard time because you have to count in the marketing, and if the budget for this is in the 300 area plus marketing, this movie really needs to make a good amount to like break even, and I just don't know if Gladiator 2 can do that. The next topic is the first trailer for Bad Guys 2 came out. I would say this: go check out the first Bad Guys animated movie. That's actually a really charming, fun movie. Like I actually did love the first one, and I think this trailer does a great job. Trailer for the second one looks just as fun and entertaining. Like I love the characters in the first one about these bad guys and criminals trying to like tone, like they have to like they're pretending to try to tone good, and they have to become good guys at the end of the movie. And the story looks really fun, and I thought the first one was funny too. And the story just looks really fun with them trying to like getting stuck in a criminal life again, but they're good guys now because the end of the first movie. So I thought overall this was just a very fun trailer for the second movie, and I can't wait for Bad Guys 2, to be honest. The last topic is Ridley Scott is working on a new Alien movie. There's not much details about this Alien movie he's working on. Doesn't say what he's directing it, producing it, but I gotta be honest. Just the idea of himself working on a new Alien movie doesn't really excite me. And there's two reasons why when it comes to Ridley Scott is that he's been a very miss with hit director. Like I love The Last Duel. I love The Martian, but there's a lot of crap in between that. Like I didn't like Gladiator 2, which was a sequel to a movie that I loved. I didn't like Napoleon. So he's been a very more miss and hit director lately with Ridley Scott. And another reason why I might say him working on a new Alien movie is because I don't really want him anywhere near the Alien franchise. Because as much as I love that original Alien movie that he directed, I love that movie. I was not a fan of those Alien prequels. And those was his ideas, and he was originally going to do like 4 or 5 Alien prequel movies, and the Covenant didn't do well. Like I can't wait for Alien Wildlands sequel because I love the Alien Wildlands. I love those two main characters of those movies. I'm excited to see more stories with those characters. I'm excited for the Alien show, but the idea of Ridley Scott being working on a new Alien movie himself, I'll admit it doesn't excite me. Like he's a great director. He's made a lot of movies that I loved. He's also made some movies that weren't very good, and his track record lately is more miss. And the fact that he already worked on 2 Alien movies in the franchise back then, I wasn't a fan of. Like I didn't like Prometheus. I didn't like Alien Covenant. And look, if you enjoyed Prometheus and Alien Covenant and you're excited for the fact that he's working on a new Alien movie, that's awesome. But like, yeah, he gave me the original Alien movie, which I loved, but he also gave me Prometheus Alien Covenant, which I was not a fan of personally. So, like, for me, the news of him working on a new Alien movie doesn't personally excite me. Like, I'm really excited for the Alien Wildlands sequel. I'm really excited for the Alien show. But I'll admit, this news of him working on a new Alien movie doesn't excite me after what he did with the Alien prequels and his track record lately as a filmmaker. But that's all my movie thoughts. Until next time, movie fans.